Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel. And today we're going to be looking at, or we have been looking at, the most recent video, Whitewashed Tomb, from the band A.D.K. And this was their 2024 release off the new album, I believe.
Out on the 15th of November. Yeah, it's called Through Storms Ahead. The upcoming album.
Came out on the 15th.
What day are we on today? Yeah, it's already out.
Yeah. We missed that. It was last week.
8th album of their career.
And of course, they're listed as a metalcore band that were formed in early 2000. Before we get into the video, we have just got a quick word from today's video sponsor. Okay, so the way we've done this is we've gone away, we've watched the video, made our own separate notes, and we're going to break this down minute by minute for you. So first of all, we're going to give you the first minute to watch, and then we'll talk about it. There you go. Okay, so first minute in, I've just written a few notes around here. So epic cinematography on this one. I loved it. This was a band that has actually thought about the videography rather than just being a basic video. They were like, how do we, and that's taking in the filters, the tone. It's not like, it doesn't feel like someone's just got a camcorder out and just started shooting. They've actually thought about how it feels. Great thundering build up. It's aggressive, it's guttural, it's precise, it's technical. Great groove riff in there as well. Yeah. So I was very impressed by this track. I was, with all the controversy and all the shit that goes on with As I Lay Dying, I was expecting this to be pretty mediocre and not something I was going to get into. But for the first minute, I was like, yeah, I'm really impressed with this. Haven't really got to the first verse yet vocally though, so we'll come to that. But instrumentally, really impressed with what was going on here. Andy?
Again, this is one of the bands that I've been around a while. I know the name, couldn't tell you anything about it. I didn't even know what genre they fitted in. But as first impressions, I mean, they've obviously been in the spotlight recently through sort of recent events. But yeah, I really like the intro, and I was pleasantly surprised at how aggressive the vocals were. I wasn't expecting it quite as punching and as powerful. So I did like the opening sort of minute or so of this track. Can't really remember I was just going to see if I could quickly bring up to get a refresh on my. Yeah. I can't really remember anything about this video.
It's more a case. I think it's more a case of how.
Which is strange. Everything
it's the cinematography element rather than the actual story elements.
I can't remember anything about it, so I can't remember what it looks like or what the format is. But with everything else, it's fresh in mind. So I'm not quite sure why that would be, whether it's because it wasn't
the best. It wasn't the best storytelling one. The angles, the lighting, and everything else was really well done.
Okay, I'll take your word for that.
Because I've not written anything more about the story in my notes. It's all about the music on my notes. So that would sound up. Kirk, thoughts? First minute or so.
For once, I picked up on the cinematography and the imposing shadow cast upon the city from above reminds me of Independence Day.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
With the
the big ship.
The ship arrives.
The frisbee that arrives.
This is a vicious song. The groove is exquisite. with the double kick drums. I was surprised just by how heavy this was as well, because we know that metalcore is quite bland these days, and we've blamed this band, haven't we, for bringing in, with Killswitch as well, the clean choruses, but this shocked me. I was like, fucking hell. You know when you sit up in your chair?
Yeah.
And you're right, we've not quite really come into the first verse, but we'll discuss that next, won't we?
Let's play it for you. So this is minute 1 to minute 2 of the song. Check it out. Your first verse. I love the lead line. So you've got this lead melody line, and it's in direct contrast to what the vocals are doing. So the vocal and because a lot of the time you get this vocal lead, the guitar lead line will go off and do almost a harmonization of the vocals, and this one is doing a completely different contrast to what the vocals have gone off and done. So it gives you it almost wants to pull you in two different ways at the same time. Great low end on this track. Chorus is pretty much a typical metalcore chorus. Kind of gave me a Kadama Sentient vibe from our local metal scene. With the delivery, especially with JB delivery and Sentient from that kind of view. But yeah, I really liked the pulling contrast. Again, I've heard too many times metalcore bands, lead guitar line that they put over the verses sounds exactly like what the vocals are doing, or they just kind of flows with it, and it was nice to see that kind of contrast pulling. Andy?
Yeah, I've got a sneaky peek at it now, and yes, the video does look really good. The lighting and it's dark, but there's big masculine posturing from the vocalist.
Tim Lambesis. Yeah.
And the way the other musicians are sort of captured as well is really good. But at this point in the song, what my main sort of point to make is I enjoyed the aggressive vocals from the main vocalist, whatever his name is, but then we've talked about it before with metalcore. You get this cliched clean vocals from the bass player, and they're quite long passages. And I think I'm right in saying it's repeated 3 times throughout the song, which is way too much.
Yeah, Ryan Neff, bass and vocalist. I can tolerate that type of clean chorus. I think he did put a bit of thought into it. Can't you see you're hiding from something?
I think it actually comes in the next section. But okay.
Yeah, okay. But this is metalcore for steroid users, isn't it? It's so fucking chunky. And the way, how intimidating is Tim Lambesis on this? It's
okay.
Like, he is putting his life into this song. No matter what your views on him, he has really got into the role and got really dug into his aggression and is releasing his inner demons, of which we know there are many. So yeah, I'm still hooked to this point.
I was enjoying it.
Heavy. Yeah.
So we're getting into the clean vocals now. So that's minute 2 to 3 for you at home. Let's check it out. So yeah, we've got the first proper time where the clean vocals have kicked in, and I've just went, clean vocals are good, but
it's metal.
I've heard better.
I've heard better, and I'm so sick of the clean vocal choruses. I want something. I mean, the problem is it is metalcore, and that's what they do. So I thought the solo fitted really well. It was almost like a classic metal solo, which you don't normally get over metalcore. They don't tend to try to be massive guitar virtuosos, but this was a really good classic metal solo. The drums sounded great. They were really crisp in their production, because sometimes they want to make them really fat and heavy, or they want to make them really clicky. But what they've done is they've just given it a good weighty production without overpowering it. So it's instrument separation, which I thought was good. There is a pause section at this point as well. They do like a pause. They do like a little pause, which was so cliched. I was like, don't do that. It's like, you've already done the cliche clean vocal on the chorus. I don't want to hear a little pause and come back out. So there are cliches in it, but I think you can kind of go with the weight of the riffs and stuff like that. They counterweight it, the pros and cons of a song. There was a lot more pros up until this point in the song for me versus some of the cons that have made it sound cliched. But the problem I always have is you could sit there and go, right, do you know what, just go and listen to Killswitch Engage, and that's basically, if you listen to the last 20 years of Killswitch Engage, you've listened to every metalcore band out there. Yeah. Basically, you could listen to one band and that sums up the entire genre, because no one else does anything else.
No,
anyone else that did anything has become a progressive metal band, a gent band. They're no longer metalcore because they throw in all the other influences like Ginger and stuff. We'll use Ginger as the example, but Periphery. So you use those two bands, they're not metalcore. They've got metalcore influences, but if you are a metalcore band, you just sound like a clone of Killswitch Engage, basically. Or you could just go and listen to Killswitch Engage and they're just better. Because guess what? The vocalist can do both clean and heavy vocals.
Yeah, I think with As I Lay Dying, they're probably credited with bringing that at the gates element. You don't actually hear it in this song, but they did start using those riffs from Slaughter of the Soul. And the kids who got into metalcore were not aware of At the Gates, whether they thought that As I Lay Dying created this sound. Very influential band, and the chorus at least sounds like it's written for an adult audience rather than teenagers. Could you get more elitist than that as a comment?
Interesting. Right, let's do the final minute of the song for you at home. Okay, so here we go. We've got a nice build up into the big final chorus. I thought that was good. It is a good chorus. And I guess, what have I written here? God, I can't read my own writing. I guess when it was released, it has kind of stood out as a good chorus, but it feels a little bit overly saturated, this song.
They just repeat it too many times, though.
Yeah.
As Andy said.
It just feels a little bit, The problem I've got is, I watched this a week or so ago, and I'm having to read my notes, and I'm reading my notes out, but I can't remember the song. Whereas on other songs we've done today, I can tell you what the song is.
I can echo that as well, yeah.
And I'm struggling here going, because it's a very, instrumentation-wise, very good, vocals, very good, but it's just another metalcore song.
Yeah.
This could have been released 15 years ago and would have sounded exactly the same. There is no growth. It's just the same thing being rehashed for 20 years.
Yeah, there's more.
And that's what I struggle with.
Probably a bit more blood spillage in terms of, the grit that he's put into the song. But yeah.
When you throw it in there with harder bands that are coming through like Knock Loose and stuff like that, who have taken their genre and moving it forward.
They're hardcore, aren't they?
Yeah, they're hardcore, but there isn't much in the way of metalcore.
By the way, one
bands.
thing that they didn't put in this is a breakdown. So they haven't done the tick boxes for all of them. There is one part in this that is almost terrifying. Lambesis brings the guitar solo into an end with this massive roar that sounds like Godzilla. And I was like, you know, when you just sit back, like, fucking hell, he's up for it.
I think this is the thing is we're not debating the technical ability of the band or anything like that. It's the fact that it's just another metalcore band.
See, I think there's a lot of passion in it, though, even though you know what to expect.
But when you've now got, he could be like, oh, then you go, well, you've then got Slaughter to Prevail.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
who literally go, oh! It's like, okay, well, let's get on with that. Oh!
Just on a side note, do you know, I think Tim Lambesis, it reminds me of the type of villain that Arnold Schwarzenegger would have to take out in a 1980s film.
Platoon, or well, not Platoon, but yeah, Commando.
Yeah, Commando, exactly. You know,
yeah, basically.
Yeah,
I was just watching back on a sneaky look at the video, and I was reviewing these rightly or wrongly from my sick bed on Tuesday, and I just still don't recognise any of these scenes.
And you've just watched it.
I know, as you went.
But everything else has struck home. You know, everything else. It's really, really strange how this one has kind of just not absorbed into my brain.
I suspect not many people would give him shit when he was in prison. Put it that way. I think he can handle himself. Mr. Lambesis.
So I mean, looking at the, you know, the sort of story element parts of the video, it looks like a really good video. You said, is it? I mean, I should have picked it up from what I've just seen, but is it like alien invasion? I don't really know.
That's why I was thinking Independence Day.
Yeah.
It's the problem is they cut too much live footage in, which means you lose the narrative of what the story is. So that's where they've done a bit too much of both.
There's people in distress and there's something going on, but I'm not quite sure what. But
and it doesn't help with the title being Whitewashed Tomb. It's like, well, what does that mean then?
Yeah. Anyway.
So there's a lot more to divulge in that one, I'm sure we can probably dissect. But let us know what you think. As I lay down in Whitewashed Tomb, did you enjoy the video? Did you hate the video? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.